Hello Aquarius friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Aquarius March 2022 Astrology Must-Knows Horoscope Forecast. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and look in the little notes below this video. If you click on the arrow button, it will reveal the notes under the video to see links to all the free goodies that I make for you each month, so you're taking advantage of everything I work hard to give you. This video is for you if you have Aquarius Sun or Moon or Rising, or even if you're someone that goes deeper into your chart and looks at your Mercury, your Mars, your Venus, or anything else in Aquarius, then this is part of your astrological picture. If you are a very late degree Aquarius placement, so we'll say February 15th through the rest of the sign, or around 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I also recommend that you watch my Pisces report, because you very late cuspy people have a more complex read and you'll benefit from watching both. Okay, so what's going on in March? Well, we've got more sweet than salty aspects this month, which is very exciting. And I do actually have a detailed picture into 8 of the most important aspects of this month at the end of the video. And if you want a write-up of all of the sweet and salty dates delivered into your inbox 1 month early, you can sign up for my free newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. But I will go over some of the really important ones. And we do have 2 to really watch out for, not in a great way, but we do have a bunch that are really great as well. So we'll go into those later. But for now, I just wanted you to know about the profile of the month, that we definitely have more sweetness than salty ones. Another big must know is that eclipse season is beginning. Eclipse season starts to heat up around 4 to 6 weeks before the first eclipse in the season. So the end of April and then into May, we've got Taurus Scorpio eclipses, big life changes, major trajectory shifts, big hellos, big goodbyes, lots of drama, and a lot of exciting breakthroughs. And also, you feel like you have your fingers stuck in an electric socket for a couple of months at a time, because the anxiety levels and the feeling that change is coming and not knowing what it is. So everything that's wrapped up for better and worse in eclipse time, I mean, while it is kind of challenging in that way, it is aligned with our karmic potentials. So it's, you know, related to the nodes, the north and south nodes of the chart, which are our karma and our dharma. So it's a very big time of activation of our highest expression this lifetime, and clearing of negative karma that's not working for us. So there's a lot wrapped up in eclipse time. For better or worse, the eclipse season is starting to heat up, and you'll start to have news or events or, you know, glimpses into what changes might come. Starting especially around the middle of March, you might see them sooner, but it's definitely heating up and will continue to get stronger as we go through the end of March and into April. So that's a big must know. One of the biggest must knows of the month, though, is that we're finally out of the personal planet retrograde, crazy long stretch of Venus retrograde and then more Mercury retrograde. So as of March 3rd, we are free and in our big open window, all right, where the tides are going out. So March 3rd through April 27th is your time to push, to make things happen, to weave your web, to throw your bottle out with the message out to sea, because the tides are going out, it will go further. Time to make your big decisions and your big purchases and your big sales and your contracts and your commitments and planning and launches and your new businesses and your new jobs. And it's just so amazing for all of that. First of all, because the tides are going out. Second of all, because the Aries energies are going to start pushing in here and they are ready to rumble. So this period of time is also even more important because we only have 2 open windows in this whole year of 2022, because Mars retrograde is going to cover from September through the rest of the year, pretty much. And that's a fine time for many things, which we'll talk about as we get closer there. But it's not the best time for trying to force things or trying to push things or trying to launch things. So all of those big things, you might want to do them now in this March 3rd through April 27th period, or we will have another one around June 19th through August 21st. But that's it, all right? So that makes, you know, the stakes higher. So if you're kind of dragging your feet on something, this might be your impetus to go ahead and get it going, so that you've got a good solid time before the Mars retrograde starts to make you lazy. All right, so the next big must know is we've got lots of strong Pisces energy. It's very emotional, it's very internal. It's not an energy that blends super well with Aquarius. So we do have that going on, but it could fan the flames of your creativity. It could force you to take some time off and to rest, which could be very beneficial for you. It could help you to do some inner work that could solve some of your long-standing patterns or other issues. It could also give you some quiet time with people close to you, just sort of in this, cozy, I call it the energy of quiet personal pursuits, but you can also do those, with a small group, things being done in the backdrop. It's just, it has that energy. And it's more strong, especially through the first half of March. When those Aries energies start taking root as we get towards the end, that's all going to start shifting. We also, so for you all, you're going to have a lot of focus on your finances. So money, finances, self-sufficiency, your money psychology, why you are with money the way you are, why you are in your space with money. I had a very huge awareness in my 20s where I started to realize that what people thought they created. But it's not only what we think with our conscious mind, and that's where we can get trapped with this movement of, of just trying to think positive. It's also what our muscle memory and what our neurological system codes or remembers as trauma or things that we watch people go through. So if you're a person whose family always struggled with money, then you might have noticed you're having the same patterns. And if that's happening, you have to do money psychology work. And this is a time where those type of things are happening. Or let's say you're someone whose parents had a lot of money, but you're having trouble with your own personal finances. Whatever your story, there are clues in your past and in your present to why that's happening. And this Pisces energy is really great for getting to the bottom of it and doing something about it, okay? So you do still have Jupiter in your financial sector, so hopefully you're seeing some money blessings from that. That is going to continue. And it is, we'll talk about Jupiter a little bit more later too, but for now, do know that if there ever were a time to get your finances in order, having Jupiter support in your second house is one of the best times ever. All right, so, the more energy you put towards this, the more it can work out, but certain things might just come to you without you having to do anything. So the next big must know is that we have a lot of Aquarius energy, and I mean a lot of Aquarius energy. And this is noteworthy just because the amount of it, but it's also noteworthy because obviously you're Aquarius placements, right? So Venus is going to get there, Mars is going to get there, Mercury is already there, and that's a lot. That's a lot of energy. And between March and the early part of April, all of those personal planets are going to cross over Saturn still in Aquarius, okay? So those of you near 18 degrees, and for those degrees after it, like we'll say that's around, February 8th through the rest of the sign, or actually around February 8th through maybe around the 12th, you all are in the hot seat. Okay, so Saturn is putting the screws on to your placements and you are feeling it. You're feeling it for better and worse. All of those outer planets have, and all planets really, because we live on a planet of duality. So every sign, every placement has its dual nature. And Saturn has a rough side. It has a heaviness, it has a stress, it has a pressure component. So you might have been feeling, as Saturn's been moving through your sign and hitting your placements, and especially those of you, in that, let's say 18 to 20, 21 degree range, you're really feeling that stress and that pressure, but it will move along. And when it does, you will feel much lighter, but it could also help you in a very, very good way, because that same edge of Saturn that is harsh can also gel things into a permanent, long-term, accomplished circumstance. Okay, so you could have amazing accomplishments and recognition and accolades, and triumph over something, or do something that you've always been wanting to do, but you're definitely feeling it. So I wanted to mention that. But for everyone, for all Aquarius placements, having all of that energy in your sign is going to enhance everything that you are and everything that Aquarius is. So this is a time very focused on friendships, social circles, networking, relationships with friends and groups, social media, relationship with social media, finding your tribe, focusing on doing things together with like-minded people where your contribution can go further because it's combined with other people. This can have to do with technological advancement. This can have to do with apps and anything bringing your business online. And this is an amazing time to do that because with all of the open windows and the tides being moving forward here, we really have a time to do anything. So if you have to launch an online part of your business or launch an app or do something that has to do with technology, and even, things like patents or copyrights or anything like that, that's innovative, that is yours, that you're trying to mark as such, this is an amazing time for all of that. This is an amazing time for networking. It doesn't have to be in person, it could be online, but you definitely want to tune in and possibly say yes to invites that people give you, or to go someplace, or to connect with people, or to talk to someone. Oh, you need to talk to my friend. Oh, I know this person. That kind of thing can have a lot of greater weight right now. And you trying to find people to build a team, if you're building a team, this is amazing, amazing energy. And all of this Aquarius energy lights up your first house. Okay, so this brings the focus back to your physical body. Also your purpose, what you call yourself, how you present yourself to the world, and your health, and how you look. If you've been waiting for Venus to go direct to get your wardrobe redone and to get your hair chopped off and to do your big things, this is an amazing month for renewal and rebirth of the physical aspect of your body. Starting a new regimen, starting a weight loss plan, throwing some money into a big purchase for something for your exercise protocol or your stress management. All of that is just glowing very brightly right now for all Aquarius placements. Okay, so another big must know is that new moon that we have, it's going to be March 31st or April 1st, depending on your time zone. It is a new moon at 11 degrees of Aries. So this is, and we'll talk about this more later, but this is a month where we start our astrological new year. So that's a very exciting time in the cosmos. And March 31st, the new moon in Aries, after March 20th, which is the equinox and the sun going into Aries, the new moon is the kickoff party for the astrological new year. So vision boards, again, we'll talk about that later, but vision boards are amazing at this time. Anything that's seed planting or helping you to, brainstorming or setting intentions alone or with a group, where you're energizing the things that you want to create and you're planting seeds. If you're a farmer or wanting to have a garden, this is also an amazing time to plant seeds, literal ones. Now, for those of you who are in the Pacific time zone and earlier, it's actually going to be a black moon. So the second new moon in a sign or in a calendar month is a black moon, and that has even more ripe potentials for seed planting and new things. And the fact that it's a new moon in Aries is just adding extra juice to the situation. So everyone in the zodiac can benefit from this, but especially air and fire signs. So all Aquarius placements get extra kisses for this one. And to drill down even further, the closer you are to 11 degrees, the more you're getting a super kiss of potential, not only for now, but also for the whole astrological year from March now through March of next year. So 11 degrees, that's going to be around February 1st. And really like the last days of January, the first almost week of like 5 or 6 days of February, and the closer you are to around the 1st or 11 degrees. So between 6 and 16 degrees, the closer to 11 degrees, the more of a kiss you'll get from this special new moon. Now, the last thing, big must know that I want to talk about has to do with Jupiter is still in Pisces. We talked about it expanding your second house of money and finances. It also could enhance your bills or your expenses, and you might have to pay out a lot of money, but you also could be making big purchases. But we're in this very interesting time where Jupiter is close to its transition into Aries. All right, we're about 10 weeks out, and that sounds like a far amount, but Jupiter takes 12 years to go around, so its orb of influence and its orb of transition is wider. So while we're feeling the Jupiter in Pisces energies, which can also be flaring up foot issues for people. So get that checked out. If you've got something going on with your feet, there could be something that had been going on under the cover and it's just coming out now. It might be time to address that. But there's also this energy of Aries, Jupiter in Aries, and this is going to be a much more beneficial transit for Aquarius people because it's going to make a beautiful aspect to your Aquarius placement. It's a 60-degree angle that Jupiter is going to be making when it's moving through Aries, which will start in May. But I'm telling you about it now because its influence is going to be getting stronger every day we get closer to when it switches over in May, including now. So you might start to see the influence of Jupiter in your third house. So I just want to give you a heads up about that to let you know what could be manifesting now and what is going to be stronger in the time to come. Cars, devices, any kind of transport, boats, planes, bikes, your mobility, if you're working on healing a mobility issue or healing from something with your feet or with your legs or an injury, all of those things are getting ready to race forward and can manifest in wonderful ways. This also can make you much more busy as far as you running around going places on foot, on land, by sea. It's going to herald a long time, all of the rest of this year, even when it dips back into Pisces, is still never going to leave that influence of the third house. So it's, and into 2023, where your communication is expanded, your writing projects or anything else where you're expressing yourself, your communication with people, like improving how you get what you want and helping other people to get what they want with how you communicate. There's a study of general semantics. You can look this up. Ida Rose Barber. This is sort of one of those not as well-known things, but there's a study of how words affect the nervous system, and we get woven into our speech patterns how our parents or caretakers or other people spoke to us. We weave it into our speech patterns, and we create with our speech. If you look into all of the religions that I know of, there's some sort of chanting or speaking or vocalizing of words or sounds that are part of the spiritual practice. And we know that speaking is helping to create. So, understanding how you're creating with your words is something that's going to be very, very, very important for you always. But at this time, when Jupiter is going to be influencing in this way, it really helps to give you insight into how you can create better and more in line with what you want by understanding how you're creating with how you're currently communicating. And you can improve all of your relationships with your communication. And you might notice that your communication is different around different people. So you get around your boss or your employees and you speak in a certain way. You get around your kids, you speak in a certain way. You get around your parents and you speak in a certain way. And certain dynamics come out in certain circumstances. All of that, the study of all of that, and how it's affecting your life is something that could be coming up for you in a big way. And you can go into this intentionally, or it could just magically come to you or come to your awareness. Now, one very, very good tool is a book series called Nonviolent Communication. And this talks a lot about how we push things further away from us and create problems in our relationship with how we say things and how we can improve everything by shifting that. Okay, so that's where Jupiter is wanting to help you next. It is already starting to influence now. So now let's look at some eight of the most important transits or aspects this month and the details of the dates and what they are and what you can expect from them. Okay, so in March 2022, we do have more sweet aspects than salty ones, and we do have this beautiful open period where it's a great time to make big decisions, and things that are very monumental might come to you, but it's also a time where you can conjure and plan and take big steps. And this is really important because we only have one more such period this year, because once Mars retrograde shadow starts to take over in September, we're going to spend the rest of the year in a shadow period. Okay, so this period between around March 3rd and April 27th is a very action-oriented time. So keep that in mind. But we're going to go through some notable aspects. Now, if you'd like to have a more complete list of the aspect, the date, what you can expect from them delivered into your inbox 1 month early, definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter where you will get exactly that report delivered to your inbox 1 month early. But we're just going to touch on a couple of these here for March 2022. All right, so the first thing we have here is one of these Saturn aspects. Now remember, Saturn aspects, like everything in astrology, like everything in life, can have a dual aspect, but because it's a conjunction, these can kind of go either way. It's not a sweet aspect or a salty aspect per se, it's one that could go either way. And Saturn can bring harshness, but Saturn can bring accomplishment. Okay, so we've got Mercury, which at this point is here. Now, the second thing is March 3rd, and this is a big deal. This is when Venus and Mars and Pluto, so Venus, Mars, Pluto combination will all be together. And that's pretty intense. We know Pluto rules birth, death, transformation, rebirth. Sometimes the death is literal, sometimes it's figurative, but there's definitely transformation afoot. And we've got the, male and female energies, our action, our just money, love, how we use our energy. Everything is all coming together, and that can be for better or worse. So major transformation is afoot. This is an amazing launch time for business collaborations, things like that. And also a time to be cautious. When these energies get together, particularly Mars and Pluto, people who might be on edge already can blow up in not a good way. So there's blowing up in a good way, like, wow, something goes viral, or there's like tempers flare, anger issues. So if you are in a situation where you don't feel safe in your circumstances, this is definitely a time to be in a safe place, because volatility will run high, and you definitely need to know about that. So that's intense for better or worse. But in the sign of Capricorn here, we've definitely got a lot of business potential, financial potential, all coming together in the love, money, work, that kind of thing. Then March 5th, we have the Sun and Jupiter getting together. These will come to be at the same degree. And this again is one that could be for better or worse. The challenging side of this can bring some confusion, some disillusion, some, betrayal, breaches to security, things like that. On the plus side, it can be highly creative and highly spiritually transformational. Then we have this beautiful full moon at 27 degrees of Virgo. So anyone who's close to 27 degrees of an earth or water sign will get special kisses from that. We'll say between 22 and 29 degrees of an earth or water sign. And plus there are two great aspects. So that means not just those people who I just mentioned will get extra kisses. Everyone in the zodiac, every position can get extra kisses, because this full moon is blessed with two amazing aspects at the same time. Then we've got a little bump here, and let's see, so Venus is going to come, this Venus here is going to square Uranus, and a square is a challenging aspect. So money, love can get a little Uranus surprise. Usually that's an uncomfortable surprise, but I have seen situations where that's brought in like a crazy love situation in a good way. I've seen where something could come in and be jostling at first, but it could actually be positive, but expect surprises in love and money at that time. And then we've got the astrological new year, right? Astrological new year always feels more like a new year to me than January 1st. But we've got this beautiful time, and this is a great time for vision boards. Vision boards are where you either virtually or on paper, like cut out magazine or other things, affirmations, pictures of essences that you want to bring for the year. The universe is especially receptive to your intentions and your wishes and your, what you're working on at this time. Plus, we've got an extra boost with Mercury making a conjunction with the great benefic Jupiter. So that's very, very, very expansive, and that will be worked into our whole astrological new year from March 20th to around March, of 2022 until that time in 2023. So this is a really big, big boost, big time for planting seeds, wonderful time for launches, making big decisions, things like that. We are also going to have the influence on March 22nd of Mars square Uranus. Okay, so we know that Venus came and did this. You know, Mars and Venus are traveling closely together at this time. And then Mars will square Uranus. And that one is a little bit similar to this Mars and Pluto, where you kind of got to watch this one. It could be a little more dangerous accidents, you know, jolts in not a good way. You have to be more careful. Don't do extra weight at the gym on this day. Don't, you know, not be present when you're lifting weights or when you're driving or walking on a ladder. You know, if there's some kind of dangerous activity, I would avoid it at this time if you can. And then people can also behave unexpectedly. So just kind of watch yourself, tune into your intuition. It's a good day to really just keep the distractions low so you can use your psychic feelers to navigate around any potential issues. Then we end off with this really nice new moon in Aries. Kickoff of this is basically the New Year's astrological New Year kickoff party. So we have the New Year on the 21st time, but then this is like the big party where the energies are really strong. And this is another great time for a vision board, setting intentions, you know, brainstorming. And this is also, in general, March is a fantastic time for making plans for the future, for moves, any kind of commitments, contracts, buying new, you know, big things, selling things, remodels, anything, engagements, weddings. All of that is really great in March and really has a lot of strong energy through the end of April for all of that positive momentum. Okay, so if you want more dates and what you might see from them, then definitely go to AnnieHelpsYou.com and sign up for the free email newsletter. They're right on the front page, and you'll get a welcome letter that will have an archive link that will get you access to anything that I've sent, and you can go deeper into what may be coming in March. Okay, so I've given you lots to work with to help you make the most of the energies this month and to help you understand the energetic patterns at work and play. And if you'd like more resources, I've got all of these here. You can additionally go to the little more button, the little arrow underneath the bottom right of the video. Click on that, and all of the links that I'm giving you here will be clickable, right? So if you're looking for reading options, including a beautiful, very detailed 45-minute audio of your birth chart for $33 from my brilliant husband, you can find that at AnnieBClarity.com. You can go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. This is where you can access running a free birth chart. This is where you access my 28-day in-depth virtual coaching program called Shine for free. This is also where you'll find tons of blogs, and you get lots of other perks for being on my newsletter list. If you're looking for written horoscopes by me, always up a month early, you can go to CozyBySweetStarlight.com. If you haven't seen this site, go to it. It is so beautiful. We've got, me and my team have lots of amazing astrology-inspired blogs and healthy living blogs. We've got hypnosis for all the signs. We've got healing frequencies for all the signs. I've got the written horoscopes that I write. We have yoga for all the signs. So it's just a very beautiful, comprehensive site. If you're looking for free courses on how to manifest money and wellness, you can go to lumelife.com, my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, LUMLIFE. You can also find my astrology education courses here, including my behemoth of a master course called Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course, which you can fully utilize even if you don't want to be a professional astrologer, but it certainly will get you up to the level where you could be and show you how to make your business a success. And payment plans are available there too. Now, I've also got 2 books out and more on the way. Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe. You will find this on the bookshelves in all major booksellers, including All the Books A Million, all the Barnes & Nobles. It's right there on the shelf. Plus, you can get it on Amazon and through any independent bookseller. And you can find Radical Prayer on Amazon, and you can order it anywhere as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.